Right, the Brutosaur. We've basically talked about the Brutosaur. I mean, it's money. They want to increase their average sale price. The bit that makes it, the bit that makes it a bit eye roll is doing this at the same time as a patch that had a release quality that makes a player look at the Brutosaur and think, I know where that money's not going. Again, I'm not saying that's the case, right? But all that
perception.
All it has to be is to feel that way.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things I think we should probably talk about here, just in the interest of being complete about it, right? Because
oh my God, yes, we wouldn't want to be like the patch.
Oh dear God, I'm very much like the patch. I try not to be, but I'm undertuned. I'm undertuned for sure. So the things we need to say about this, I think, just to kind of, because everyone's talked about it ad nauseum, but I think this is a better mount than all the other mounts available in the game, because there's an auction house and mailbox, which is perfect synergy. But Michael, you can park the original Brutosaur beside another mailbox. It's fine. Yes, correct.
Not the point, though.
In the same analogy I used earlier with broken glass and how you can walk around broken glass, but it still shouldn't be on the floor. It is still a new mount that is better for a lot of purposes. If you're in the middle of say you're in the beginning of an M+ and you don't have potions, bang, done. Is that very, very, very minor? Yes. Well, is it also quality of life that is uniquely available on the store? Yes. Is it no longer just cosmetic, because just cosmetic was the transmorpher beacon, all those things? Yeah. Those were kind of pushing the envelope, but they were fun. They were cosmetic. Sure, you don't need them. This is objectively slightly better. Is not flying to an auction house really worth $90? For some people, yes. For some people, it very much is. Especially for a lot of people who wanted the original Brutosaur, didn't have the money in time, or weren't playing at the time, and now they're told to go and buy this. They can't wait a couple cycles of Brutosaur, because this will go away. They're incentivized to get it right away.
Yeah.
Which brings me to FOMO of this being available in the store for a limited period of time.
Until January 6th.
January 6th. Just in time when it's an anniversary event. So the views that this is the anniversary celebration. Brutosaur is a celebration? Interesting.
That won't matter after, because America won't exist.
Yeah, of course.
Because of whatever's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I think that's again, we've talked about FOMO over the years, like ad nauseum, to use that phrase again. We've talked about it for ages, and nothing has changed about it, right? FOMO isn't necessarily a horrible thing to do. However, it is applying a little bit of pressure on people. It's not like this is the dark pattern, but it is limited.
It's a form of pressure.
Yeah, it's a form of pressure to go buy this now. Buy this expensive thing now, because if you miss your chance, you're screwed. You're screwed. That's horrible. That's like people say, the mount is pretty ugly and doesn't fly, so not worth. Yeah, some people think it's not worth. I don't think it's worth. It would be very, 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 okay, if this mount was 20 quid, I'd probably go for it, because I think that's the right amount of, it's a cool mount, and my 20 quid is worthless anyway, because we live in hell.
Back to your principles.
Yeah, and I buy lunch and a can of also, that's fucking 20 quid. So I'm like, it's not quite yet, but it's getting there, right? It's getting there. I go buy a sweater, it's 40 quid. Fucking what is money anyway? It's all pennies to me. Not to me, it's all pennies, because everything's pennies, because we're on track to being fucking Zimbabwe.
Are we?
Who was it? Sorry, I don't want to have I got news for you? Watching old reruns, someone, I think it was a Tory politician, said, sure, when we get in, it'll all be Zimbabwe anyway, which is something. It was Alan Duncan anyway. That's one thing where I think obviously there's a little bit of different value things. I don't think it's worth. Some people do. Lots of people do, so they bought it. The one other thing I want to say about this is that people are, how do I put this? I think I'm going to say being useful idiots for Blizzard. And I don't mean to be too rude with it, but people are saying, but it's cheaper than the other Brutosaur. The Brutosaur was 5 million gold, and that's the fucking genius of the WoW token. The WoW token rotted your brain to think that gold is money. It's not. Gold is not money. Gold is gold, money is money. For every person who buys this with gold, That's $20 for Blizzard, because someone buys a WoW token for $20. You give them your gold. They give you the token. What does Blizzard give you? Pixels. Blizzard are walking out of that going, we didn't give them any gold, but they give us $20. Class, unreal. It is actually us. It is the most perfect scam. It is Blizzard.
It's not a scam. Hang on. Now.
It's not actually. Yeah.
That's not a scam.
Yeah. Okay. It's not a scam.
It is Blizzard increasing the average sale price of 1 month of World of Warcraft.
No, it's not.
What?
It's not. That's if the token is used for the sub.
Oh yeah, of course.
So every person. So the way it worked, and people talked about it initially, was right. Anytime someone goes, okay, I'm gonna gold for sub. That would be someone's $20 becomes your $15, and you give them gold. Blizzard walk away with the $5. When you're doing this with BattleNet balance,
Oh yeah, shit, it's genius.
if you're buying other things with BattleNet balance, Blizzard aren't giving you any money.
Yeah.
The other person is just paying a premium. The other person is buying the Brutosaur for you.
Yes.
For your gold. It's legal gold selling, realistically. And Blizzard are the ones taking all the actual cash home. You're not taking it. Yeah, it's
flipping
It's
awesome.
absolutely brilliant. And it's probably like a decent
Well
percent.
done, CCP Games, with the Plex in EVE Online. You created a true, honest-to-God business innovation.
Yeah, it's genuinely brilliant. It is honestly brilliant. I think it is. It's amazing how it causes people to do mental gymnastics, because people are saying, well, it's 5 million gold. This is only like 1.2 or 1.3 or 1.4 million, whatever it was, based on fluctuating prices. And you go, yeah. But it's Blizzard are still walking away with $90 for every one of these sold. Every single one of them, Blizzard are walking $90.
Yeah, it's not gold.
It's just not your $90. It's someone else's $90. That's how they've done it.
And the point
right?
is that other person is happy to pay.
Yeah, because that's where the other brilliance of the WoW token comes in. Because whenever they don't want to pay, whenever someone isn't willing to pay for your gold, the number changes. So you give them more gold.
I mean, how many people yesterday thought, hang on a second, 450 grand in game or 20 quid in life?
Yeah.
What a steal.
Yeah, Blizzard players are going to RMT no matter what, so why don't we just be the middleman and take all the money?
Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
Exactly. And I think it's brilliant, and I think it's just caused some real interesting side effects in how people think about it.
Yeah. It's created interesting side effects, and it creates some interesting incentives. So previously, if Blizzard had a big chase item in the game, like a big expensive gold item.
The Brutosaur, the Legion Spider.
Yeah. If there was no WoW token, that would be very pure. But the second the WoW token exists, people are then able to say, that raid BOE, that's only 2 tokens. Just buy 2 tokens, get a raid BOE.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing with the WoW token. I remember it very well back in Warlords of Paymore.
6.1 has finally been dethroned.
Yes, brilliant. Like I remember the WoW token first came in, and one of the big player discussions was, whoa, this it's like a sanctity of thing, earning gold in WoW. People used to be like really interested in gold making. So yeah, it's interesting. So there's that, yes, the whole mental gymnastics thing, but realistically, from a sales perspective, it's about what the framing is, right? What the sell is. And, they're obviously very happy to have the whole WoW token gig running. Sweet, like totally. But it's a paid thing on their own store. So it is primarily that. Why is it a problem? People say, just don't get it. Number one, again, locus of control. Yeah, don't get it. Totally.
Yeah, completely valid.
Completely reasonable. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that we would put forward is that if World of Warcraft gets an outsized amount of its positive financial results from things like this, goodbye Travis Fimmel and Toby Kebbell, then this will become more and more normal, because that's what moves the KPI that actually matters.
Yeah, and that was the fear, right?
And it's a subscription game. The idea with a subscription game being that it is more of an a la carte experience. And I think, as a really easy analogy, think about the experience of Disney. So, I mean, it's the easy one to go to because they've just squeezed the parks so hard. Think of where it was like with Disney 10 years ago compared to now, where somebody, you know, buys a park ticket and the levels of squeeze are completely different. Even if you go to like one of the Disney hotels, the sort of benefits and perks and the overall deal has got so much worse. And they're obviously juicing up their numbers and their performance, but it's not really via things that are going to be, it's not like Universal making a big new theme park and big new exciting rides in a way that Disney hasn't been able to. So in that example, Universal have been able to compete pretty strongly by making their offering better. Whereas Disney has been able to compete, or, to get their financials up by inventing new ways to squeeze their existing audience, which leads to audience satisfaction decreasing.
Yeah, Universal are planting orange trees. Disney are inventing better orange juicers.
Whoa. No, they're just getting the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, you're right.
So that would be a little bit of the concern, I suppose, that I would have, where the deal gets... Some of it could be the deal gets worse. It could be the perception, because perception is an important thing. And with a lot of modern games, you go into the game. I've even seen Magic the Gathering. Actually, I kicked back to this yesterday, where they've announced that I think half of all Magic sets will be another IP, not Magic. 50%.
I love IP and franchises.
Yeah, so
they make me happy.
They are actually Fortniteifying Magic the Gathering. But that stuff can cheapen an IP, unless it's something like Fortnite, which is explicitly designed to do that. The more and more this happens, you feel like the Disney customer who used to get their fast pass just as a part of the way the system worked with their ticket. And now you feel like the Disney customer who is asked for $15 for their fast pass. And the more that happens, especially if you're talking about utility, which this is. I mean, the bear mount that was last month that has a transmog on it, I was basically, fine, whatever, because it's just a cosmetic variation. The actual functionality, the yak, you can get in the game anyway. So here with the Brutosaur, this is functionality you cannot get anywhere else than the store. And that means it's no longer a cosmetic. It's sort of gameplay altering. Now, people would say, okay, but gameplay altering, you can change your characters, you can change your character to a different race or a different faction or any of those things. I guess there's a difference between like account services, character status things, and then inside Azeroth, right? Inside the game, the rule set of things inside the game. As an example, one thing that was really in my head whenever Blizzard did the Algari Stormrider, whatever it's called, the Epic Edition, Heroic, whatever it is, mount, it has its own unique effect where you gather up static and you can do a big rush forward charge thing.
Which was only unique until the expansion launched?
Yeah, and I was really happy about that. Because I thought, oh, okay, good. They understand that it should be about the cosmetic, not the functionality. And I suppose here I feel a little bit of a violation of that. Another thing, Eric Covington, he, tweeted thinking back to his BFA days of... basically sense of world and player hubs. And there's people who are saying to me, "Oh my god, what a boomer take! How stupid."
A boomer take in the same way that affordable house prices is a boomer take, and reasonable rent that isn't 60-70% of your wage. And boomer takes.
I think a lot of that is to focus just on what you're accessing, to focus just on the utility, but not to think about the overarching design, what the World of Warcraft is supposed to achieve. And there is something to be said. I mean, the most extreme version of this is going into towns like Varrock or Camelot in this is before the Grand Exchange in RuneScape, where that's where people did trading, and that's where it happened in the world. And that gave those towns a sense of being a town. So whenever you go to Dornegal.
Return to Dornegal champion.
Oh god, that's so disgusting.
It's pretty sure it's pronounced Dornegal.
Oh, that's so.
I just say Dornegal because it's Donegal, but with an R in it.
Yeah, fuck it. We're taking our country back, Blizzard. So there's something to be said for
Doorknob go.
The auction house is the auction house, and that's where the auctioneering goes. Or that's where the auctions happen. And you go in there, and what do you see? You go in there, and what do you see in your MMO? All the other players doing their auctions. It's like, even if you're not interacting with another NPC when you go into the bank in the game, it's important in an MMO that you see other people going to the bank, because that gives the city a sense of being a city. That's one of the reasons why Blizzard decided to remove the Brutosaur with its auction house functionality. They actually made a blog post in 2019 explaining this. There's the blog post.
Yeah, this is Kyvax going, "We do not intend to remove the AH vendor, blah, 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 but it alters players' flow around the world, unique convenience but not essential. We've seen how luxury mounts like the Tundra Mammoth started out as something special and rare, ultra exclusive, mostly purchased by guild and stuff, but then commonplace
because of gold inflation.
Yeah, and then at the end goes, we want to ensure in the long run, years from now, 5 years from now, roughly 4 years and 11 months, we don't find ourselves looking around and seeing AH mounts that are as common as repair mounts are today." Well done, Kyvax. Well done. As I say, Kyvax, he's the mouthpiece.
He did it all.
He's the mouthpiece, which is
he's the mouth of Sauron.
Mouthpiece is even kind of weird to say. He's the person who posts Blizzard stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't write it. He doesn't think it. He just says it.
No, he's one of the Black Numenorians. He signed up with Sauron. He's evil.
Yeah. So there you go. Everyone with $90 or an e-boy on hand has one of these now.